Cursed Hearts by L Cattano. Excerpt from Chapter 1. Knives, meat, and guts were strewn across the kitchen table and dripping onto the floor. Jessie took in the gory scene with horror and softly gasped as she watched the culprit stand over the slimy mess with a large, sharp, gleaming knife. She watched quietly until she gained some control over her emotions as the culprit cut and slashed with manic determination. "What the hell are you doing?" Jessie asked as calmly as she could as she watched the sharp knife come down on the soft flesh and then make a sucking sound as it was pulled free. The offender looked up in surprise at Jessie's outburst and gave her a menacing grin while holding the shining knife in the air, poised for another plunge into the firm but yielding flesh. "Stop right there. Don't come any closer." Jessie put her hand to her mouth and shook her head in disbelief. "Louise, just how many fucking pumpkins did you buy?" Louise looked up innocently at Jessie and quickly dropped the knife to her side. "Well, I've got 13. 13? 13? Why the hell did you have to get 13 pumpkins? Jessie fumed. "Now, Jess, don't be mad. This is our first Halloween together and I just wanted to do things right," Louise explained. "Do things right? Look at this mess. I hope you know I'm not helping you clean it up." Louise looked around at the messy kitchen and laughed. "I did kind of make a big mess." "Kind of?" Jessie snapped as she put her hands on her hips and rolled her eyes. "Yeah, that's why I warned you not to come in all the way. I didn't want you to slip on the guts or anything." Louise smiled charmingly. "Oh well, in that case, I'm still not helping you clean it up," Jessie snapped as she turned and stormed out of the kitchen. Louise grinned as she watched Jessie walk out. She began quickly making an effort to clean the kitchen as well as Jessie would have. Louise knew she would never get it clean enough for her, but she would try. God, she loved that woman. Finally, Louise got the kitchen back into some sort of order and went to look for Jessie. She grinned when she found her sitting on the bed, putting on her after-shower lotion that smelled so good. She slipped into the room, sat next to Jessie, and began helping smooth the cream over her. "Lou, stop it," said Jessie as he pushed Louise's hands off her leg. "You've got sticky pumpkin gunk all over you and I just took a shower." "I know, and you smell good. You feel good," Louise purred as she stole a kiss and pushed her back on the bed. "Ugh, Lou, stop. I can smell the pumpkin and believe me, it doesn't smell good." Louise laughed as she pulled away, grabbing Jessie's hands and pulling her up with her. "Well then, I guess you'll have to come back into the shower and make sure I get clean enough for you." Jessie gave a small laugh as Louise pulled her into her embrace and began kissing her and pushing off her robe. "My God, don't you ever think about anything but sex?" Louise chuckled. "Yes, but only when you're not around." "Oh, so it's only when I'm around that you think about sex?" "Yeah," Louise whispered heavily into Jessie's ear, pulling her into the shower and turning on the water. "I'm so glad you already took a shower." "You are?" Jessie breathed out heavily as Louise kissed that one spot on her neck that made her lose control. "Why?" Louise moved her kisses back to Jessie's ear. "Water's already warm." Jessie moaned softly as the warm water ran over her body and Louise's kisses covered her neck and breasts. She felt Louise's confident hands run over her, pulling her closer as they kissed under the falling water. Leaning against a cool tile, Jessie arched her back as Louise made her way down her body and spread her legs. Louise worked her tongue around and into Jessie, tasting her and slowly licking her in wide circles and long, lingering strokes. Jessie held Louise's head as the ache building inside her caused her to let out a quiet moan. She was so wet for Louise that even the water could not wash it away. Louise slid her fingers inside her, thrusting gently and teasing her swollen clit with her tongue as the steam surrounded them and the sound of the water was lost in their passion.
What a cute little reading. But you seem to have forgotten about me. This is also a story of a demon's game. Join me if you dare.